Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Michelle and this is Shell's Bits and Pieces, where you will find a little bit of everything all in one place. How has everybody been these past few weeks? I am so sorry that I have been slacking on my content. There's a lot that's been going on and I need to catch you guys up. So today's video is not going to be a haul, unfortunately. I have not been to the bins in about a month. I just haven't had the opportunity to get there, and I'm going to tell you why. So about 3 weeks ago, actually 3 weeks ago from today, like today, 3 weeks back, I was feeling some sort of way, and I just decided that I no longer wanted to work at my job, so I walked out. I just up and quit, no notice, no nothing, and that is not something that I would normally do under normal circumstances. The circumstances that led up to, or the series of events that led up to me walking out of my job were that ever since my surgery, my boss has been treating me a little weird. She alluded to my age and my health concerns. Not that I have any health concerns anymore, because the cancer surgery got rid of the cancer. So I don't have cancer. I don't know what her problem is. But needless to say, she was treating me differently after I came back from my surgery. She took half of my workload away from me and gave it to my coworker, which, you know, is fine. She was still paying me the same amount of money. I had the same amount of hours. Nothing changed in that respect. But she was slowly taking things away from me or leaving me out of things. And I felt like I was being quiet fired, if that terminology makes sense. And it got to a point where she would walk into the office and not even acknowledge that I was sitting there and just go straight to the coworker and start talking to her. And so I felt like I was being pushed out. And so I had pretty much had enough by 3 weeks ago, Tuesday, that I was done. And I couldn't take it anymore. It was a very toxic workplace environment, and my mental health was suffering quite a lot. So I decided at that point in time that I was just going to leave and figure out something on my own. So fast forward 3 weeks, here I am, and I'm going to work on me. I'm going to build this channel. And for cash flow, I'm going to do Instacart, and that's what I've been doing for the last few weeks. It doesn't pay as much as I was making at my job, but it does pay the bills, so I can't really complain. I was going to actually do Instacart today, but it's been really slow. There's not much on the app, so I decided that I would work from home today. And yeah, this is what we're doing today. So the video that we're doing today is going to be a little different from what we normally do. I've decided that I'd like to create a series called Craft and Chat Wednesdays. And these videos will come out on Wednesdays. No matter what day I film them during the week, they'll be posted on Wednesdays. And our first episode is going to be a craft technique that I learned back in the 90s called burnt brown bag. And I don't know if any of you have heard of this. I have really wanted to do this technique for a really long time and just hadn't had brown bags, really. So a funny story behind that as well. In Colorado, they've banned the stores from giving you plastic bags like the old Walmart style bags. And if you want a bag, it's going to either be paper or a reusable bag. So now the stores are, loaded up with these brown grocery bags, but the paper is just, it's not good quality anymore. It's very thin, rips really easily. So I've acquired a few of these bags, and I want to show you how to do this burnt brown bag project. And the idea is to make it look like you have a cut piece of metal, when really all it is brown grocery bag with glue. It's pretty awesome, actually. So I'm going to put together our supplies, and I'm going to come right back, and we're going to learn how to do this, and then we're going to chat a little bit more about what we're doing here. So stay tuned. All right, so for episode 1, of Craft and Chat Wednesdays, we're going to do burnt brown bag. And I'm not going to do anything with this piece that we create today, but there are endless possibilities of what you can do and what you can make with this burnt brown bag technique. So let's just get started, shall we? So the first thing that you're going to need is some just basic brown grocery bag. Mine happens to be from our local King Super store here in town. And I did notice, like I just mentioned a little while ago, that these bags are not as strong or thick like they used to be. They tear very easily and they're very poor quality. So back in the 1990s when I did this project, I could layer just 2 pieces and it would be thick enough and substantial enough to hold up to the glue and the burning, which we'll talk about here shortly. But for this project now that we're 30 plus years later and the bags are less quality, we're going to layer 4 layers just because we want it to hold up for whatever we decide to do with this cutie pie. And I'll tell you, I really like how this turned out. It looks very metallic and worked like kind of like an iron piece or something. Yeah, isn't that cool? And you can do any image that you like. If you like hearts or squares or triangles or circles, something that you can cut by hand, you could do that. If you want to get a little bit more fancy or a little bit more advanced, you could certainly use metal dies and run it through your die cutting machine, or you could actually use your Cricut to cut images, whatever you like, but it does need to be on a layered brown paper bag. So 4 layers. You might be able to get away with 3, but 4 is good because it just gives it that real nice heavy strength and durability that you'll want later on down the road. I've created actually a couple other cutouts that I did the other day, and I'll show you those as well, because it doesn't have to be hummingbirds. It doesn't have to be anything intricate. You can do hard, easy, whatever floats your boat. That's what's great about crafts. They're so forgiving, and you can adjust it to your liking, to your skill level, and whatever you want. So these are just a couple other things that I did. It's like a scallopy shape, kind of. There's the back side of it. And then there's a little flower that I didn't do anything with yet either. So what you'll need is some sort of image that you can cut out, 4 layers of brown paper glued together, and you'll glue them with Aleene's tacky glue. Now this project actually came from a show in the 1990s called Aleene's Creative Living, and Aleene Jackson was the creator of that show, and she also was the founder of this tacky glue. And from the stories that I remember and from the little bit of research that I did to figure out how to do this again, because it's been a really long time since I did these, Aleene or somebody on her team back in the 1960s just happened upon this particular technique by accident. They were trying to figure out the flammability of the glue and realized that when you put it on fire or put fire to it, that it just kind of turns black and sooty, and you'll see that in a minute. We'll do that whole technique together. And then when you rub the soot off, it just gives kind of like a metallic essence that you can, this is like a blank canvas that you can do anything you want with. So what I did was I took some Tim Holtz distress crayons and just kind of colored over and pushed it in all the nooks and crannies with my finger, and just look how cute that came out. I think I'm going to make a card or use this on a journal or something down the road, and we'll do that together as well. But I want to show you the technique today. So, like I said, you're going to need brown grocery bag layered 4 times, and you will glue it together, preferably with the Aleene's tacky glue. I have not done this project or this technique with any other glue. This is the glue that I learned how to do it with. This is the recommended glue, and so you can, if you want to try another glue, you can, but I don't know what kind of results you'll get. This glue is available in almost every craft store, Walmart. You might even find it in grocery stores. I've even found small bottles of it in the Dollar Tree. So it's pretty readily available. And if you can't find it and you really would like to locate it, look on Amazon, you'll probably find it there too. So you'll need some Aleene's Original Tacky Glue, grocery bags. You'll need a piece of wire. In the video that I watched last week to relearn the technique, they said 18 gauge floral wire. I have floral wire, but I don't know what gauge it is. So I kind of doubled it over and twisted it, because what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to sandwich the wire between the image. Sorry guys, I had to take a phone call and I'm not sure where I was. I think we were talking about the wire. The show, when I watched it on YouTube, stated that you should use 18 gauge floral wire, but I don't know what gauge this is. So what I did was I doubled it over, I bent it in half and doubled it, and then twisted it so that I could utilize it like this. What the reasoning behind that is so that you have a stick and you can hold it over an open flame. You will also need a candle. Today I have a 3-flame candle, 3-wick candle, but in the 90s you would use a tall pillar candle, and I think that might be a better candle to use, like a tall single candle, so you only have 1 flame. These are adequate but not exact. It's just what I happen to have right now. I didn't run out and buy a new candle. This is what I have, and this one is from Bath & Body Works. It's called Falling Flurries. It doesn't really smell terrible. It doesn't smell like a whole lot. It's not strong. It's a nice little candle, so whatever. So this is what we're going to use for that. And you'll also need some kind of paint or burnishing, kind of something that you can rub on if you want, or color, or crayons, or whatever you have. Like, just find something cool. So the technique then is going to be like this. So you'll cut out your images. And what I did was I took 2 layers and 2 layers of 2 layers of brown bag, glued them together, cut out 2 images of that double layer, and then doubled it. So I have 4 layers right here of brown bag, and it's sandwiched with the piece of wire in between. Okay, now the Aleene's Tacky Glue that I have is a little older, and it's kind of thick, so it doesn't burn properly. So if you want a good result, I would suggest getting fresh glue. My glue's old. I found it in the bins. Shh, don't tell anyone. When I see glue, I have to pick it up, and this bottle I think is probably the best bottle, but I don't know. If the glue was a little thinner, it would probably work better, but this one will be sufficient for this particular project today. So if you don't like making a mess, you could use paintbrush. You could use your fingers if you don't mind making a mess, but we're going to slather glue all over this bad boy, okay? And just so that you can have a point of reference, these are 2 layers that I would glue together. I'm not going to do that for you today. And just stick them together like so, with the wire in between. And you can make it so that you can pull the wire out when you're finished, unless you want the wire in there for like a stick kind of project. But yeah, just sandwich it together and glue it together like that. All right, this is the fun part. This is probably my most favorite part of this project. So we're going to take and slather glue all over this, and we're going to use our fingers and get a little messy. So make sure that you have your baby wipes available, or whatever you use to wipe your hands off with. I have just a few left, so I'm going to have to get some more. But this is one of those projects that you could do on a rainy day. You could do it on a sunny day. You could do it, at your leisure. I really enjoy this particular technique. Yeah, so there we go. So this is what we're going to go for, and then we'll finish it to look like this. All right, so, and you can do both sides. I didn't do both sides on these because I'm planning to glue this flat on something. But if you were going to make like a something that hung like a mobile or a wind chime, something, anything, you know, where you want both sides to be visible, then you could do both sides. But we're only going to do just the one side today. And it's pretty easy. Oops. You guys. This is the real world of crafting when you dump your glue all over your surface. But you know, this is a good surface because it's a soap hat and nothing really sticks to it, and it cleans up pretty easy. So while I'm going to get my candle ready before I start slathering the glue, because you don't want the glue to dry. You want to burn it while it's wet, and that's where it gets the burnt brown bag name. So let's get our flames ready. Try not to set anything on fire here. All right, we got our candle ready. I'm gonna set that off to the side, and we're gonna start slathering our glue. And it's always good to put a lot because you want the glue to melt, you want it to burn, and you want it to look like a piece of worked metal. And I don't know the terminology for metalworking, but it's just a really cool technique that you can just use your imagination. And, you know, if you're interested in learning more about, you know, burnt brown bag or Aleene's Creative Living, I'll put a link down in the bottom where the description is so that you can, you know, catch some of those videos yourself if you're so inclined, and learn a little bit more about what 90s crafts were all about. Because I'll tell you, as a stay-at-home mom in the 90s, I needed something to keep me occupied. And, you know, they didn't have the internet. They didn't have a lot of the, you know, things that we have today available. So I'm going to move this out of the way because it's a nice mess. I don't know where I'm going to put it. Put it over there. All right, good. And we're going to get our candle. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this bird and burn him in the flames. And according to the video that I watched, because I had to, like I said, I had to relearn the technique, they said not to put the glue directly in the flame. But if you put the glue directly in the flame, now it might catch your bag on fire, so you have to be real careful. But just keep an eye on it. You want this glue to bubble up on the surface, because when we're going to take a paper towel once we're finished, and we're going to wipe the soot from the fire off of it, and then that's going to subsequently, see what it's doing here? Ooh, that's hot. I don't know if you can see that, but it's starting to warp and bubble, and that's what you want. So you can hold it in the flame or close to the flame, whatever you prefer. I like to hear it sizzle. Can you hear it? Hear that sizzle? Sizzle, sizzle. Just like frying chicken, but we're frying a hummingbird today. Oh, you guys, it's just been a heck of a few weeks. After walking out of my job, I really didn't feel worried or concerned that, you know, things weren't going to be all right. I'm really not concerned about it today either. 3 weeks later, I'm actually glad to be away from that toxic environment. It really was starting to wear on me, you know, and as I get older, I don't have a lot of tolerance for nonsense, and workplace drama is not my thing. The person I was working with came in there like she owned the place, and you know, she was definitely a favorite of the boss, and I couldn't compete with that, nor did I want to. So I decided it was probably best to leave and go my own way. So now I've got to figure out, you know, how I'm going to proceed. And like I said, I'm really not that worried, because worst case scenario, I can go get another job. But I would like to try my hand at doing my own thing and taking a chance on myself and my skills and abilities. All right, so let's see if we've got enough burn on here. It's kind of smoking. But can you see all that soot? It's pretty cool, huh? Let's give it another once over so that we get it good and black. And you'll want to like do this in stages. Like don't just hold it over the flames, you know, one time. Try to do it back and forth, blow out if it catches on fire. But you really want the bubbling and the soot on there. All right, so I think we're pretty good. I think we got this thing cooked pretty well. Yeah, I think we're good. We'll blow the candle out and we will move right on. So yeah, I decided that I was just going to take a chance on myself and my skills and abilities and, you know, do things my way because I've been doing it other people's way for so long that, you know, it's gotten pretty old for me and I want to try something new. So I'm going to take a chance on me and, you know, if I fail, I guess I'm going to work at McDonald's. Actually, I don't think I would work at McDonald's. I don't have much restaurant experience and I don't really want any restaurant experience because it's just not my thing. But anyway, so now that we've got this burned to our liking, you know, I mean, I probably could have got a little bit more in there. Come on. I'm having a really rough time with my autofocus, you guys. Okay, so there's our burnt bird in brown bag. So you just want to take a paper towel. It can be damp, it can be dry, it doesn't really matter. And you just want to buff it off, guys. Gotta buff it off. I can bring it in for the round. All right, so you just buff off the soot. See, it's coming off. And it's not going to be a lot, really. But once you buff it off, the magic will appear before your eyes and you will not believe what you've created. It does. It looks like metal, like just, and this actually came out really nice. And the pattern is going to be different each time. But look at that, you guys. I know it doesn't look like a whole lot, but we're gonna rub on some Tim Holtz crayon and see what we end up. Now I've got some metallics and I've got some flat colors. I tried a flat color on one of the other pieces that I did and I didn't like it. So you can actually take a damp cloth with this distress crayon stuff and you can wipe off what you put on. As long as it's the Ranger distress crayons. They're water reactive and water soluble. So until it's perfectly dry or set, water will make it react. So you can like clean up any mistakes or oopsies or anything like that. So we're going to try one of these colors. I think I want to go with a silver. I may have actually done more than one color with this one. I don't remember. Looks like I did. It looks like I did some copper and some silver. So we'll just do silver today. And I'm not sure, did I have copper? I don't even know. The caps don't resemble exactly what's inside on all of them. It does on this one though. But you just take and go over the top lightly. And if you don't have these distress crayons, don't worry. If you have like a metallic paint, you could lightly dry brush over with some metallic paint. You could take gold leaf and the medium for the gold leaf if you have that. There's so many ways to make this beautiful. And these are just like the coolest things. If you look back at the videos from the 90s, they have just, hand cut out shapes that are just very rudimentary. And me, of course, I've got to be more fancy. So I took my die cut and my die cut machine and thought, why not just do some more intricate type of shapes and see what we get. And that, I believe, is what I would call done. And you can, like I said, you can use these for anything you want. I didn't do the back side, but if you wanted it double-sided, you certainly could do that. So that is our burnt brown bag demonstration for today. And our chatting, I guess, has also come to an end for right now. But I did want to let you know that I'm going to be doing more with the channel. I'm going to be creating some digital products. I'm in the process of writing an ebook, and more to come on that. I will give you guys more info as I get closer to releasing that ebook. And we're just going to do new things together. And I hope that you will come back for the next episode of our Craft and Chat Wednesdays. I'm really going to work hard to make that a thing while I'm in the middle of trying to get cash flow and create an ebook, digital products, keep crafting. Oh, and I still have to go do some more hauls too. I haven't been to the bins in about a month. So with all of that, you guys, I hope that this video was informative and that you enjoyed it, and we will perfect the content of these Craft and Chat Wednesdays, because I don't really know. I don't know. I think I lost my train of thought. So I got sidetracked a few times. Hopefully I can remember what I was talking about. But in any case, I hope you guys enjoyed this project. And like I said, I will link one of the YouTube videos from Aleene's Creative Living down in the description, so you can check it out if you're interested. And yeah, so I think that's it for today's Craft and Chat Wednesday. But we will be back next week to do another project, and we'll try to figure out the format of this series, because this is the first one. I don't know what I'm doing. It's new, and we want to make it perfect, but sometimes we can't. Anyway, with that, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me this afternoon. We'll get better at this. We're going to work on it together. And next week's craft project will be probably very unique and different. You know me, I don't like to do the same thing that everybody else is doing. I got to walk a different road, and that's just who I am. So until then, for those of you that are new, welcome. And if you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing, because we want to build this channel and this community to be something fabulous. And I know it's been a slow go for some of it. And I do appreciate those of you that have stuck by me and stayed with us and didn't unsubscribe because of lack of content. I really appreciate all of you. You guys are my people. So thanks so much for that. But if you're new and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. We're just trying to build this up to be something fun and interesting. And, I like to do a lot of throwback type things and just different stuff. So if that's something you're into, I hope you'll join along. And maybe I'll get another haul in this week. Like I said earlier, I haven't been to the bins in about a month, and I really need to get back there because I'm making sales on my my Etsy and Mercari and eBay stores. So I've got to replenish the inventory, so to speak. And I'm not real sure exactly the direction I'm going, if I'm going to make resale my primary, if I'm going to make YouTube my primary, if I'm going to make Instacart my primary. I don't know yet. I'm just throwing things to the, to the heavens and letting God help me decide. And yeah, so that's how it is. But enough of that. Thanks for joining me. Remember to like, comment, and share. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.